What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm not running, but I'm gonna do a injury prevention session that I do once a week. I'm not running today because I hurt my toe a little bit, so I'm giving it a day to feel better, so I don't aggravate it and make it worse for the future. But yeah, so let's get right into it. Basically, what I do for an injury prevention day is I won't run that day, and it starts with a morning stretching routine, followed by some foam rolling, and then a PT session in the afternoon, followed by another stretching session, and then that's everything. The stretching I do every day, but adding in 2 sets of stretching and PT, that's what makes it into a full injury prevention day for me. So let's go.
0, 1, 2, 3. Let's get started.
Oh, that's real good.
Alright, I think that should work. Alright, hopefully that doesn't fall over. The first exercise I do is a hip flexor stretch with my back foot elevated. This really helps me. A lot of what I do is focused on hip mobility and hip strength, because after a long time working with my physical therapist, we figured out that the problems that I was having all through sophomore year were coming from a muscle imbalance in my hip. So now I do these stretches and exercises to alleviate any built-up stress in the area, and so far it's been working fantastic. So I'm not going to stop doing them anytime soon. So I'm just going to get through these and then move on to the next one. Alright, moving on from a hip flexor stretch to now the first of 2 hip focused stretches. Just pulling my knee towards my chest and then leaning back slowly to get a nice deep stretch. Feels real good along the side. This is the first of 2 stretches I do for my hip. The other one is a more, what's the word? I don't know, not advanced, but I guess advanced is a good word. Advanced form of this, where instead of pulling my knee forward, it's, I lay on the knee, so it's like pigeon stretch, where I use gravity to stretch my hip a lot more. Say hi to my cat. I love my cat. He's gonna be bothering me for the rest of this now. We're just gonna have to deal with it. Usually like to do 2 sets of each on each leg, just to get a nice equal stretch on both sides. Now I'm really super neurotic about doing everything equal amount of times because of the muscle imbalance I had before. I don't want to develop another one, so I'm very careful now about making sure things are equaled out. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this one up and then we'll move on to pigeon. Might have to move the box. Sorry, Houdini. Go over here. So I put my leg out in front, stretch this one out behind me, and then lay down on top of the hip. I'm kind of in frame, I guess. Whatever, but you get the general idea. I'm gonna do 2 sets each leg. I'm gonna move on from this one because it's kind of bad to film. Alright, sorry about that one. That one was kind of a poor angle to film it at. So now it's just now that I'm done with the hip-centric stretches, it's now just normal stretches now. So I do hamstring, quad, calf, all the usuals. So that's what this will be now. Sticking with the same 2 sets per leg. These are just more for general mobility and not hip focused as much, though most of them do play a role in the whole leg system, which is useful to stretch. So yeah, I'm gonna finish my hamstring stretches and then we'll go to quad stretch. All right, now to a quad stretch. I like to just lay down on my leg while it's bent. This gets a great quad stretch all the way through and gets a little bit of a hip flexor stretch, so that's always useful for me because obviously hip stuff. Alright, I'll finish this up and move on to the next one. Alright, now we're going to do a butterfly stretch for some groin stretching. This one always just feels good to do in the mornings, because I always wake up tight, so it's always nice to stretch out before I do anything else. Yeah. Next, I'm going to be doing a calf stretch. I think I'm going to do it over here. Really just dropping the heels off of a raised surface and letting gravity do the rest. Pretty much just alternating legs. Just sinking the heel down. Yeah. So that's it with the stuff on the floor. Those are all the stretches I do. I do those in the morning every morning, and then I'll do those again after my PT exercises that I'm going to do now. So the general concept of the PT exercises for me is to work on increasing the strength of my hip in certain positions, because the problem I would have is I would overcompensate with one muscle group, which caused another one to lack. So now what I'm trying to do is put my body in a position where I can work that underutilized muscle group, which is mainly just by keeping a good posterior tilt and working from there. Just not locking up and falling back into like a sway back. I want to keep it tucked. That's mainly what everything is here. So we do like body weight squats and side lunges, forward lunges with weight, and then like pseudo pistol squats almost, just something along those lines, bridging, and it's really just all about isolating that muscle group and strengthening it. So to start, we've got the body weight squats. As the summer progresses, my plan is to add weight to these in the form of a weight vest, because I do have a weight vest which I can increase by, I think, increments of 5 or 10 pounds, up to like 45, I think. I'm not sure about that. I'll have to check up on that later, but I can increase that as I increase in strength. So my goal is to be able to be doing these exercises with the weight vest on by the end of the summer, with the hope of increasing that strength, because hip mobility and strength is hands down the most important thing for runners. Everything comes from the hips. It all starts with the hips. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So we'll start with the bodyweight squats. my goal with those is to go ass to grass and not like bend over, but like go down. Instead of like leaning on the shins to go forward, resting back on my heels and just focusing on hip, butt, and quad. Instead of just like putting all the weight on the shins. We'll do one more set of those and then we'll move on to the next one. Next is going to be a side lunge. Spread my legs out and then lean down to one side with the same idea as the squats to get as low as possible before I start to feel like I'm coming out of that hip position I want to be in, and then just continuing that. Each side, 2 sets. So I'll get those done, then we'll move on to exercise 3. Alright, now I need to bring out the chair for the pistol squats. Basically, it's one leg raised and dropping onto the chair and then going back up. Each side, 2 sets. This one's doing the same kind of thing, just trying to focus on individual leg stability instead of them working as a pair. So it's good to, because obviously when you're running, there's going to be a time when there's only one leg on the ground and you want to be as stable as you can be with that. So this helps with that. So we'll get 2 sets on each leg with this. This exercise is where it becomes super relevant with the disparity between the legs, because doing them on this leg is much harder than on this leg, because this was the leg that had all the problems, and it's noticeable when doing this exercise. It's definitely a lot shakier and less controlled than the left leg, which is interesting, but yeah. Alright, now the chair can go away. Get more space again. Sticking with the single leg exercises, this one I go on one leg and do like almost a squat while bending. I don't even know what I would call this, but it also works on the single leg stabilization idea. So I'm gonna do 2 sets on each leg with those. These are hard, especially after the pistol squats. My legs are, by this point in the workout, my legs do start to get tired. So it's especially important to focus on form, because you obviously don't want to be falling into bad form, because that creates bad habits, and then manner of bad things could happen from there. So good form is important, and if that means not doing as many reps as you want, well then that's what you gotta do. Because I'd rather 5 good reps and 10 crappy reps. Alright, now's the point where we get to have some real fun. Now we're gonna do split squats with 40-pound weight. Grab it. One leg behind, one leg in front. And then just... Alright, that's set 1. Now we're gonna do set 2. In a second. I need a second. What was I gonna say? This whole routine, because this is the last one, this whole routine usually takes around 30 minutes. So it's not even that bad. Stretching takes like 10. So 10 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the afternoon, and then some more stretching later. I mean, it's not a lot of time to be giving up to avoid injury. Alright, that wraps up the stretching and PT. If you like this kind of video, let me know down in the comments down below. It's probably gonna be longer than most of my other videos, but if you like this kind of content, let me know. And I have a bunch of other topics I could go into more depth on than I do in a short running video. So, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!